Many maritime accidents are caused by errors of bridge personnel and inadequate bridge procedures. Apart from ship structural failure or poor machinery conditions, inadequate sailing preparation may also lead to a fatality at the sea. To improve deck safety and the crew, therefore, it needs to be well prepared before proceeding to the sea. Sailing preparations may include many complexities, and this is the reason why a bunch of things should be considered and prepared carefully to ensure a smooth voyage passage and safe navigation. Any prudent master will arrange and guide his crew to prepare the vessels for a sail out in safety from one port. This procedure must always be guided by practices of good seamanship. So here are the procedures and instructions of vessel departure preparation.
The ship's crew plays an important role. They are in charge with the vessel's navigation, engine maintenance, machineries, watchkeeping, maintaining the ship's hull, cargo, gear, and the accommodation, taking care of the ship's life-saving and firefighting appliances. Verification of the crew number is one of the things that needed to be considered before departure. It is important to verify that all crew is on board because they are trusted with important responsibilities, such as ensuring that voyage crew have both an exciting and safe sailing experience on board. Also, the deck department is one of the in charge with receiving, discharging, and caring for cargo, and the engine department is responsible for the operation, maintenance, and repair of the propulsion systems and the support systems for crew, passenger, and cargo. Before the ship's departure, the master must verify that all the crew is on board. In case of an absence, the master must first inform the ship's agency for the related communication. Second, immediately inform the company, and last is verify that all the minimum number of crew allowed by the crew list issued by the administration is present on board. If the number of crew members is lesser than the crew list, the master cannot sail and shall immediately contact the responsible of the manning office, who will take the necessary steps to guarantee the vessel's safe departure. The master must also notify, directly or through a company agent, the concerned authorities. If the crew member that is missing occupies an important position in the emergency organization on board, the master must update the master list.
Voyage planning is a key element to the solar segregation and the implementation of ECDIS to ships. The states that the passage plan should take climatological, meteorographical, hydrographical, and oceanographic information. The execution phase of the voyage plan section of the resolution states the meteorological condition and weather routing information should be taken into account. This particularly in the critical areas known to be affected frequent by low visibility. The integration between ECDIS and weather routers should be increasingly transparent to the ship. Captain and officers, in order to effectively execute all the pieces of the IMO voyage plan mandates, should take into account. Weather routing has long provided the foundation of ship's captains for safe navigation of their vessels. And on board, weather routing solutions aim to aid the captain. It is considered of the great importance of safe navigation for the best performance of each voyage, to obtain all relevant weather forecasts. It is the master's responsibility to obtain information in the most suitable manner and examine them before departure. If a weather facsimile receiver is available on board, weather charts of the considered navigation area may be available. Marine safety information considering navigation areas may be available through the means of NAVTEX. The crew must check the MSI and other weather and tide information to avoid collision and accidents at sea. The crew must also make sure to understand any navigational guidance of warnings that are broadcast to your ships. Maritime safety information is defined in the Safety of Life at Sea or SALAS Convention. Chapter 4 as compromising navigational and meteorological warnings, meteorological forecasts, and other urgent safety-related messages broadcast to ships. Maritime safety information, which includes weather information and navigation warnings, is broadcast on VHF by the Coast Guard Maritime Rescue Coordination Centers every 3 hours. The company has provided all managed vessels with bridge checklists, which also includes the various tests and controls to be carried out before vessel departure.
Before leaving a harbor, the master must be sure his ship is seaworthy. He must delegate his crew, deck and engine officers and ratings to run a thorough check as described hereunder. Some of the duties of the master is to ensure his ship leaves the harbor of departure in perfect condition of safety, so that he can sail to the harbor of arrival in the same perfect condition. He must also deliver the goods he is carrying to the receiver in the same apparent good order and condition. Lack of checks and testing on bridge equipment can lead to a ship to a dangerous situation. It is especially true while approaching or leaving a harbor or transiting through a traffic congested area with limited sea room. To eliminate the potential threat of colliding with each other, vessels are run aground during shallow water navigation. Bridge watchkeeping officers need to be fully conversant with the use of all bridge equipment. These preparations may include many complexities, and this is the reason why a bunch of things should be considered and prepared carefully to ensure a smooth voyage passage and safe navigation. For the safety of the crew and the vessel, several machinery and electronic equipment in engine and deck department has to be tested, synchronized, and ready to be used before departure. Also, tests and controls to be carried out before a vessel's departure are collected and reported in appropriate checklists in compliance with the applicable rules and regulations. This checklist has to be completed by the officer on the watch, and it may be used after vessel's preparation to ensure that all mentioned actions have been performed before the working phases. A useful checklist aiming to provide the necessary steps is required to achieve vessel's proper preparation for voyage. Upon checking, this equipment should include anchors, cables and winches, GMDSS, BNWAS, communication equipment, gyro and magnetic compasses, ARPA, steering gear, navigational lights, global positioning system, etc. Also, doors openings, cargo and handling equipment should be ensured in order to avoid water ingress and to ensure vessel's stability.
The Conventions of Facilitations of International Maritime Traffic 1965 as amended defines a stowaway as a person who is secreted on a ship or in cargo which is subsequently loaded on the ship without the consent of the ship owner or the master or any other responsible persons, and who is detected on board the ship after it has departed from a port or in the cargo while unloading in the port of arrival, and is reported as a stowaway by the master to the appropriate authorities. When deemed necessary, a stowaway search must be conducted by the ship personnel 1 hour prior to departure. A notice by the master, the crew, port and customs authorities. Stowaways may gain access to the ship with or without the assistance of port personnel. Once on board the ship, stowaways hide in empty containers, cargo holds, tanks, tunnel, behind false panels, stores, accommodations area, engine room, void species screen, chain locker. The presence of stowaway on board ships may bring serious consequences for ships and by extensions to the shipping industry as a whole. The ship could be delayed in port. The operations of stowaways can be a very complex and costly procedure involving masters, ship owners, port authorities, and agents, and the life of stowaways could be endangered as they may spend several days hiding, with the risk of suffocations and without any water or provisions. To prevent stowaways, prior to leaving such a port, the master should ensure that all doors, hatchways are securely fastened, locked, and, if necessary, not needed for regular access, welded shut. Stowaways can join the anchorage and before the ship is safely on the berth. Fit plates have over anchor hose pipes to prevent this.
All in all, departure is time sensitive and depending on current circumstances at sea at port, can be dangerous and challenging. With the help of departure checklist, seafarers can make the departure of ships more efficient as well as promote the following. First, security and safety of the crew. Departure checklist help the crew go through all the essential steps to ensure the safety of the ship's departure, both for the people on board as well as those at the seaport. Second, damage prevention. The checklist contains steps on what to check first to make sure that the ship, its cargo, and the port are safe for docking and departure. Last is timely departure. Using a checklist can help with efficiency, thus saving time, and help the ship stay on schedule. Inefficiency and delays can result to costly recurring penalties and damage businesses' reputation.